Alright, what's going on, man? Got my dog with me, Mykelti Williams, man. We've been rocking for a minute.
Too long, man.
First personal interview on the Home Team YouTube page. I couldn't think of another guy that I wanted to bring in. Guy I met, fourth grade.
I was like third grade.
Yeah, so I know you coming off a crazy season with 88 tackles, 50 solos.
Yeah.
I know you still grinding, trying to know COVID got everything, going crazy. I know you out here still working.
Definitely.
Still working out, still doing what you're doing. So we met Little Warriors.
Yep.
No, before the Little Warriors, actually.
Before the Little Warriors, I think he played for the Eagles.
The Eagles. I remember the first time I came out there, I'm in the field. I kicked the field. I see this dude with a neck roll. I'm like, who ain't got a neck roll? I was in tears. I was like, bro, you was already bigger than everybody. I'm like, bro, this dude got a neck roll on.
Yeah, man.
But I used the Cowboys.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Man.
Actually, I think that was my fifth grade year, your third
grade year. My third grade year.
Y'all had, I think, did y'all lose to Stan?
Yeah,
Jackson?
we lost to Stan and them.
In the Super Bowl.
Not in the Super Bowl. We came back and beat them in the Super Bowl. They beat us in the regular season. And then we came back and beat them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was on the Eagles. That was my first year in Warren.
You won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, we won the Super Bowl.
I remember.
But the Little Warriors, Peter Jackson.
Yeah, I remember.
Like 66 touchdowns or something like that. It was crazy in high school. Even in Little League, you won a championship in Little League and you won a championship in high school before you left. Mm-hmm. So you gave back to the east side in a big way on almost every level. Even I don't know about middle school. How good y'all did at Stony. You went to Stony Brook too, right?
We beat everybody.
Yeah. Stony Brook. We did good 7th grade year. I think 8th grade year we didn't do it as good as we did our 7th grade year. But middle school ball really wasn't.
It wasn't too much. Yeah, it was just like you was playing against everybody in the township.
It wasn't no development. It was just playing football.
Right.
But I just wanted to let you even if you never padded up again, I know I'm proud of you. I know the East Side. I know a lot of people are proud of you for what you done. Brought to the community, the happiness you just brought playing on Fridays, and then other things you did in the community. So if you was to never pad up again, people are proud of what you did. Don't ever think people see what you putting in, the work you put in.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man, and I just try to, do my best and give back to the East Side, and just try to be a really a good light on the East Side, because I know we don't normally get a lot of good light, but it's some great people, great players, and there's some great things happening on the East Side. So
definitely. I remember one moment I remember in particular when I was in 6th grade, you was in 4th grade. Coop got hurt in the Caps game, and I mean, the Caps was they was hitters. They was hitters. I can't lie. That's one of the most physical. That's one of the most physical Little League games I ever played in my life, and Coop ran like a 60 or like 70-yard touchdown in Little League. So you got to think we on the Warren Field, 70 yards to
tired.
Yeah, he tired. So he didn't play for I think I don't know if it was the rest of the game or it was a period where you came in.
Right.
I think you were number 20 back then.
Yep.
And you had came in and made some big plays for us down that stretch. I was that the first or the second Caps game? That was the second Caps game.
Yeah, second Caps game.
That's
we
the game we ended up losing in the playoffs. But I mean, what did we go, like 9 overtimes?
It was something like that. I remember it was so many overtimes.
That game was so crazy, but that was one of the big moments where that was the first time I ever seen you step up. Like, as we get through this interview, I seen you do this a lot, but that was the first time I saw you. I was like, okay, but when it's go time, I know I can trust on Mykelti when it's time to get stuff done. And you was what 3rd grade? So how old was you?
I think I was 4th grade. Y'all were in 6th.
6th.
Yep. Yes. So I can't remember how old I was.
Yeah, but I know you was younger than everybody out else. Here, and you stepped up in a crucial time. And this is a Little League game.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know about Warren Central, that's watching the interview, everything was magnified times 10. So you playing football, it's not just we practicing Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We
every day.
5th, 4th, 6th grade. We out there Monday through Saturday,
every day,
getting it in till it get dark.
Yeah.
And then I mean, you remember Coach Upshaw?
Coach Up, get him chopping.
Man.
Get him chopping.
Oh my God, we did up downs till you couldn't even breathe. I'm like, man, here he go, get him chopping.
Nah, man, I think honestly, man, for me to step up, it was easy because I just watched how y'all went about y'all business, and I just try to emulate that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So looking up to y'all and seeing how y'all went about your business and how hard y'all went and how y'all had fun with the game helped me a lot. So it's just like, all right, I'm gonna just go follow what they do and see if I could do it a little bit better, or see if I could, emulate and be the same exactly what y'all do. So you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the great example that I was given.
Appreciate it. And you looking up to us. We looking up to you. He in 4th grade. He hanging. You know, right. he hanging or better than half of the people in my grade. So I'm just looking at it. I was looking at you over the time and, you know, being around sports, you see a lot of coaches where their dads are coaches and they just kind of get pushed through because, okay, his dad's on the team, so he gonna play. Like, you broke that stereotype to a T. Right. Like, if anybody was to ever say you got what you got was because of your dad coaching or anything like that, would be, you know, a bold-faced lie. Like, you outworked, you know, I watched you work day in, day out. You deserve, right. you know, everything plus more than what you got. So right. I commend you on that because, I mean, you get a lot of those guys definitely get a bad rap, and, you know, you can attest to that where, you know, definitely. Their dad a coach, and so they feel like they this or they could do that. You worked, you know, your butt off from the time you got to practice to the time you got home. How was it like dealing with, you know, because Williams coached you from what was that 5th grade to, or even on the Cowboys?
Then, like, before. So really, I mean, I started with the Monsters.
Okay, that was the purple and or orange and
purple and orange. Purple.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. That was crazy.
So I mean, but it started even way before I even started playing football. Honestly, like it was just before I started playing organized football. Mm-hmm. So like, I remember we stayed in like Park Valley, and it was a tree that we had in our backyard, mm-hmm. and it was snowing one day. And it was just me and my brother. We was out there in the back, and my dad would tell us run around the tree, mm-hmm. and then he'd tell us to come back. You know what I'm saying? So just those little things, like, I think that carried a long way for me. Like, just having that father figure, being able to push me, but at the same time, he was coaching me up and teaching me how to have a great work ethic. Mm-hmm. But you know, I think he did a great job of just teaching me how to do it and then letting me go at a certain age.
Like, so, you find your niche.
Right. So it was up to me at some point if I was going to do it or not. You know what I'm saying? So mm-hmm. it wasn't like he was forcing me to, you need to do this, you need to do that. You know what I'm saying? He showed me the way, gave me the tools, and I used them.
Definitely. How was it like having a big brother? Sammy definitely was a monster at running back. I've seen him do some crazy things at running back. How was it like having him in the household and also being able to look up to him or, you know, look up to him in a positive way, and also look up to him if he mess up at practice or he mess up on something, you could pick up off that and learn a different way.
Mean, so honestly, it was the best thing for me. Honestly, I think that's one of the biggest reasons I'm where I'm at today. Honestly, like, I tell anybody that, you know what I'm saying. So being able to watch him, be at Franklin Central when he was in 6th grade, scoring 5 or 6 touchdowns mm-hmm. in the game. Just seeing that, you just, like, as a little brother, you think, all right, I want to be better than that. Like, I want to do better than that. And so everything I watched him do, I wanted to be better than him. And he was just, like, so gifted. He was, like, talent. His talent was just, it spoke for itself. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he worked hard, but for myself, I had to work even harder, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't as, like, talentedly gifted, but I just worked so hard to make up for that. So I think just watching him, man, was a blessing. And, you know, just seeing what to do and what not to do was a great teacher for me. You know what I'm saying? So I have knowledge before I get to those circumstances or those situations so I can make the right decision, basically.
Definitely. I remember Sammy, he came back. He had took some time off from football. This was my sophomore year of college. So this was your freshman year. I think you were still playing freshman ball. Mm-hmm. And he came back, like, in the middle of the season, and they put him on scout team. Oh, my God. He was doing – what was that? Chris Harley.
I can't remember.
It was he was doing them. He was out there doing it. I'm like, man, he still got
it. Though.
And I'm like, at this point, I'm like 4th string on the depth chart because they had CJ, Buck, mm-hmm. AD. I'm like, man, Sammy, get him some carries. He still got it. He still got it.
It's crazy. I mean, he was just gifted, man. He was just blessed. He had the speed, size, was strong. I mean, he had it all. So
he definitely was an ox in the weight room. And then, me coming from Tab and then coming into the Warren program, it was 2 guys that I trusted, that I knew had my back 100% as far as, like, coaches I had. That was Coach Humphrey and Coach Williams. Can you describe the impact that Coach Humphrey also played in your role coming up in the Warren Central Little League?
Coach Humphrey played an instrumental role in my growth, development, and teaching me life lessons. I think he did a great job even when we were at the Hill. You know, he was teaching us life lessons. He was even on the track at Creston. Definitely. He was teaching us life lessons through sports. and he was just teaching us never to give up. Push through when when you don't feel like doing it or you didn't feel it that day. You know what I'm saying? But you still had to come to work and keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I think those lessons that he taught us, they play into life. You know what I'm saying? So it's much bigger than just football or sports. He was teaching us life lessons as well.
Definitely. Coach Humphrey and Coach Williams, it's like this look they give me that it's like I can't. If no matter what I do, I can't let them down in that moment. I remember it was one game we was going against Perry Meridian when we were on the Warriors,
right?
And I was like I was better on defense, but I played wing as well.
Yep.
And I didn't usually get my number called in the big running play like style situations. It was like a 2-point conversion for the game.
Right.
Coach Humphrey was like, "You gonna get it?" I looked at him like.
So
like you asking me, like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Like, right. That's how to get it. Your dad was like, yeah, you gonna get it. Like, I'm like, all right. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, am I gonna get it? But we I did end up scoring and we ended up winning that game. But I mean, it was just different moments like that your dad definitely put me in. And then Coach Humphrey put me in that. I mean, I know they made a big impact, and I seen the impact they had on you and me, growing up. And those are just, some instrumental guys that I know a lot of guys, kind of look up to. As far as Coach moving in, like your dad, Coach Williams, I mean, how was it? I mean, he's your dad. He has 2 sons already. How was it taking in a whole another tribe of sons? Cause I mean, I feel like Coach Williams basically had an open door policy. If he was your coach, he was always open for you. If you called him or wanted to come kick it, he was always there. How was that handling him as your dad, also handling him as your coach and sharing your dad and a coach with other kids?
Man, honestly, it was a blessing, man, to have somebody like that in my life. I know a lot of people don't really have their dads in their life, but I was blessed to have mine, and he was more than a dad to me. He was my coach as well, so it was a blessing, just to have that at home. You know what I'm saying? It instilled in me, hard work, dedication. Obviously, his saying hard work pays off, and it's definitely that's true. And it was cool, just to see him, touch a whole community of guys and try to still steer people in the right direction and do the right things. And just it was cool to see that, man. It just brought you closer to everybody in the community, especially on the team, because everybody was coming over to kick it, so I was getting to be around like the older cats and just talk and pick y'all brains and see how things work, how things were. And it was just like, I mean, it was the best of both worlds for me, honestly, just being able to be around like the older guys or just be able to learn from y'all. So it was a great feeling, man.
He was funny as could be. He was also, he had that look like, you got to get it. Like, he would kill us in individual. I be watching everybody, any running back in Warren Central because we was there. No, individual, you about to get it in. You about to die. Like everybody else, like doing their little drills. I'm over there dying. And he definitely, installed that, anybody could compete. Like he didn't put it to where, okay, this is the guy. Even if the best guy that started was, it wasn't no let off. He coached everybody up the same way. If you want to play, put forth that same effort that the starters doing. Beat him in this, beat him in that. So I can also see how, that was a great impact that he had on me. So I can only imagine how that was, in the household.
Definitely, and I think that's just who he is. He gonna treat everybody the same. He gonna put his best foot forward for everybody. So I think that's just a test to who he is as a man, as a dad, as a coach.
So with that being said, do you feel like it was any added pressure onto you with the fact that, like you had this hype? Like, I mean, you seen Friday Night Lights, you seen Believe. You had, if you didn't notice, if you like me looking at your life from on the outside looking in,
right?
You had that. That's Mykelti Williams. Like they see that's Mykelti. Like it wasn't like that's Mykelti. Like you even when I was in high school, you was in middle school. They was coaches talking about we get Mykelti. He coming up. He's gonna be a freshman.
Right.
Did you feel like that was an added pressure that you had to perform at all times, or did you take that as like, I'm here doing my job?
I honestly, I didn't feel no added pressure. It was just, I'm just here doing what I love. It's just, I'm playing a game that I love, and I'm doing the best I can at it. You know what I'm saying? No matter what the level was, no matter what I was doing, I always just wanted to, be my best and make others around me better. So it was just like, no pressure for me. It's just like I'm coming to work and have fun. So I was giving it my all at all times. So
I appreciate that. So and then high school,
elementary through high school,
or
just that one player, or just
one from each era. Like who,
one
like
from
besides
each
yourself, who could you like? Yeah, like okay, he's a problem.
Man. So elementary, who was Stan, man.
Stan Jackson.
Stan Jackson,
he
dog.
did have.
It was just Stan was just so fast, man. He was fast, and he didn't like getting touched. He didn't like getting tackled. You know what I'm saying? And he was just quick, man. He was nice. He was cold.
Stan definitely was. He had that NCAA in and out move down pat.
Yeah,
he
man.
Definitely was a special talent. I wish he would have stayed in the township.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
I think middle school. One of the best players in middle school. That's tough. That's tough. Middle school. I don't know, but I can't even remember a specific player, but I remember like Belzer was always Belzer was always good.
They was nice. Like, it was nice.
Every year they was always good.
They was nice. They brought the noise every time we went and played them.
Yeah, so I mean from a team standpoint, it was Belzer for me. And then high school, man, honestly, it was so many good players that I like, great players that I came across. Like that would I wouldn't even be able to like. I feel like everybody from my like when I was a sophomore, y'all senior year, like I feel like everybody was a problem. Like everybody was good. There wasn't a slouch out there like on the field. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, if we were put in, some better positions, then like you know what I'm saying, our season would have turned out differently. But I feel like everybody was good. Like I seen great talent for a long time. So it was like.
And my senior year, that would have been your sophomore year, correct?
Yeah.
So I remember, this was rewind. Even before that, your freshman year, your first varsity snaps, I was in like your freshman year, my sophomore year. Or no, I take that back. That was my junior year.
Yeah,
your sophomore year. I was second string that year, and we was playing LN. We got up on them, and you came in. They sent me in too. And I looked, I'm like, Mykelti coming in. And I remember we was in the huddle. I'm like, you ready? And it was just a handoff play, but I'm like, you ready?
Right.
And I scored on that play, but I just remember seeing you come in. Another moment from your high school career that I remember, this one was kind of funny because everybody was so mad. And I'm just like, why y'all mad? They're like, they don't matter. He ain't done. He ain't earned nothing. He ain't da-da-da-da. I'm like, what's going on? What y'all talking about? And I seen a lot of like upperclassmen. I had my name on the back of my jersey, so I really didn't care.
Right.
But they didn't have their name on their jersey, and they seen that you had number 18.
Right.
And they was just going off like, I'm like, but and me in my mind, I'm like, you don't even play. Like, what's your name? Like, or what's the difference? Like, I mean. At that point, like, I don't know if that made it down to you because they didn't bring you up. I know you came up sometimes and practiced with us and did certain things, but for the most part, you played your freshman year out with your team.
Right.
Did you hear that? That roar coming down, or
man, I honestly didn't even pay any attention to it. Like I probably heard some of it, but it was so long I couldn't ever really remember that. But I'm sure it was some of that. Obviously, your dad's coaching there. You got your name on the back of the jersey as a freshman, so it's like, why he got his name on the back of it? So I mean, at that point, then it's just like, all right, now I got to prove myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then that's just what I try to do.
So at the end, all it did was put a bigger chip on your shoulder.
Definitely.
Like, so I know, or freshman year, you were definitely, we was hearing the numbers you were doing on freshmen and stuff like that. So one time, back to Coach Williams, when I was coming up on freshman, I had got a hit pointer and ended up playing defense. I was playing running back, and I ended up playing defense. I remember coming out for Thirsty 30, and Coach Williams was on varsity, so I was with the freshman team. And I'm coming out, I got a black jersey on. I'm on Thirsty 30 now. Right. And he didn't even let me pass the
he said, go get
gate.
Go get it.
He said, what you got that black jersey on for? I'm like, this is what I made Thirsty 30 for, Coach. He said, take that back. I'm like, man. So he played a big part of what I even did at Warren because I honestly thought I liked defense too, and I thought that was where I was gonna fit the rest of my time at Warren. And nah, put that up. Made me go get a white one. I'm like, hey, you gonna make me go get a white one? And then that was history after that. I was in the backfield after that. My senior year, your sophomore year, I had already bought a helmet previously for the season started, but we had all those old helmets. Everybody called them the Darren Evans special, the old Revo Speed with the 2 lines. And you came past the locker room. I seen you walking. I'm like, what's wrong? And like, man, they gave me that old scratched up helmet, man, and they gave me 2 helmets. I just seen the helmet; it was so beat up. I'm like, and I already knew, like, man, he's about to play. He's about to be a part of this. Whatever happens this senior season, he's about to be a part of it.
Right.
I'm like, man, I can't let my man go out sad like this. So I got my locker. I gave you my Revo Speed. I'm like, man, nah, man. I'm like, they can't have you go out like that.
Yeah, that did me bad my sophomore year. Was just, I mean, honestly, that was just a humbling experience, man, and just like another reason, like why I would look up to you, man. Like you a genuine dude, and that spoke volume to me about you, bro. That's why I gravitate to you. That's why I always like if I got a question or anything, like I'm gonna hit you up, and I appreciate you always being genuine.
Appreciate that, man. That's all. I mean, and even with Coach Williams, like. Any dumb, like you said, me being older than you, any dumb thing I was doing, I would never let you do it or make that same mistake. Even if I made that mistake, it was like, like a lot of people don't see that in Warren as a whole, looking from the outside in. They think we all the same, or that we all. No, if we make a mistake, we don't want the next generation to make the same mistake. But it was just so funny, man, seeing that helmet. I'm like, man, they just ruined my man whole day. They just ruined his swag and everything. He probably, I'm about to look weak the whole year, man. What was the biggest moment, or either the biggest moment or the best football play that you feel like you made in your high school career?
Honestly, I would have to say my junior year in the state championship when I got the game-winning pick to seal the deal to end the game. I think that was one of the biggest plays I made in high school that I can just remember that changed the game, that sealed the game, put the game away. It was obviously the score was super close, 7-6. It was a back and forth game. We wasn't really going on offense. Not a lot of they wasn't scoring a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it was just they kicked 2 field goals. Mm-hmm. So it was just a defensive battle. So it was just to make that play in that type of game and that type of environment. It was just a great feeling. But it's crazy because I watched so much film and I just kind of seen it. Mm-hmm. I just seen it wasn't something that I wasn't ready for. I was preparing all week for that specific play. Mm-hmm. So it was just it's here. Just got to make the play. It was just a great feeling.
And I remember that season, I'm sitting at home or not at home. I was at Indiana State. I was either Robert Morris or I was at Indiana State at the time. And I got the game. I'm watching the game on whatever, on the web link or whatever. I'm watching the game. And I'm watching. I'm like, man, this Mykelti. I'm hyped. I'm at home. I don't know what to do. Then I see you come out quarterback. I said, they didn't put him at the Wildcat quarterback. Now he cutting up. And then it was one play. I had the pink jerseys on with the camo pins. So I was like, man, that combination was crazy. On top of that, but you came through the hole, and then you start. I mean, you already was a big dude, but you start high step walking through. I'm like, he's showing out now. I'm like, he's showing out.
Yeah, man. Nah, honestly, man, I love being on the offensive side of the ball, man. But I knew that, my dad wanted me to be on the offensive side of the ball, running the ball, doing whatever. But I think that was just natural for me. But honestly, my calling was on defense. It was just, I love defense. And playing on offense my whole life, and then transferring over to defense was a great fit for me because I had an offensive line.
So you was already seeing schemes, seeing stuff before it happened. It's funny because Coach Williams, it was this one pass set that we always did where the whole O-line would shift right and leave the running back one-on-one with the DN, and he would always look at me like, you better not whiff. You better not whiff. So I'm like, man, what I would do is just run full speed and just get blown up. But at least I'm there. I'm trying not to fight. Yeah, I'm in the way, but I used to hate that. I'm like, why are y'all hold everybody
with the end?
One-on-one. I mean, it was big Darius Latham. It was some big guys in those grades. And I mean, even in practice, I got Poles screaming. I got chilled and all they screaming. I'm like,
it wasn't no slouch.
It wasn't no slouch. I'm like,
all.
I'm 5'8". I was like 160. I'm like, man, they was looking
Getting
at me
the job
like,
done though.
Yeah, I was doing the best I could.
Yeah, man.
And then going into college, I know you picked Notre Dame. You went to Notre Dame. That was your first choice, and then you end up going to JUCO after that. I know just from different experiences and talking to different guys, JUCO is like it's a team, but it's really I gotta do what I gotta do to get mine type of environment. So I know working when guys got that type of mindset, it breeds, not I want to say a bad culture, but it breeds a negative culture because you got guys who are not mischievous, but they're doing things to make sure they get to that next offer to the next level. So how did you handle leaving 5-6 star program to going back to basically the grind, back to the kitchen, to make it back to the grind? How was that process?
It was tough, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. Like, as a kid, like some people have stories where like they didn't have this or they didn't have that. Like they went through so much adversity growing up, right? Mm-hmm. But for myself, I can't say I ever went through any of that. You know what I'm saying? So, this was like my first true test, like of all right,
first gut check.
Yeah, your first gut check on okay, like is this something you really want to do? If so, like you're gonna have to really like give it your all and put everything out there put everything on the line to get back to where you want to be. And so, man, that was a hard transition for me. I mean, I was in Iowa. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like what 9 hours, 10 hours from here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it was straight school and football. You know what I'm saying? So you're away from your family. You know what I'm saying? And like it's not the same as a D1 program where you're getting stipends every week or you're getting stipends every every so often. Mm-hmm. Where in JUCO you had to call and be like, oh, well, can I get some money for a pizza or something? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, it was real humbling, man. Like I feel like honestly I needed it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To humble myself and be humble again. And it was I look at it now and it taught me a lot of lessons, man. And just it was a crazy experience, but a great experience at the same time.
I can dig it. And then coming out of that JUCO, you get to Northern Illinois. When you get there, I know the coaches are you come in from a JUCO, so they already expect the big thing. They're expecting you to be sharp and ready to go. And obviously we've seen you produce that. You had the last season you had 88 total tackles, 50 solos, and I mean, as from the city watching the games, we seeing you come downhill. I was seeing you flip your hips, TBD. I know you were saying TBD or some of them passes. Coach Touch put that in all you guys. I used to hate hearing TBD,
lock, baby.
Y'all wouldn't even make a play. Y'all barely bad ball. TBD. Everybody screaming, but man, it was all love at that point. But getting back to Northern Illinois and just grinding it out, was that like a weight lifted off your shoulder that you got back to where you wanted to be, and you definitely performed and outperformed what you.
I wouldn't even say it was a weight lifted off my shoulders. I think it's just like now I got back to where I belong. You know what I'm saying? And now I just have to prove myself again. You know what I'm saying? So I think at every level, and everywhere I've been, like I just try to come in and improve myself, work hard. You know what I'm saying? And just the same grind that we had since we was little, just keep doing that, and sticking to that script. You know what I'm saying? Because like this is what I love to do. I love playing football. I love giving back, and I love being part of a great community. So I think it was a great feeling to get back though.
Get back. How's the atmosphere when I mean, you like I said, like you deserve all the flowers you get now. Like you've reached to a point where and this is just me from the outside looking in, where you've done things that guys wanted to do or wish they did, and you like you said, you hit your first diversity point, you bounced back, you came back out of it. How's it feeling now that you looking at the NFL? I see you working out every day. Like when you going into those workouts now, is it like, okay, this is for all tomorrow? Like, what's your process when you getting up? Is it the same, or do you feel like you got that extra, that extra burst when you going out to work out now?
Now honestly, man, it's an extra it's an extra push. You know what I'm saying? It's that same feeling, you know, when I left Notre Dame and went to JUCO feeling. It's the same feeling where, you know, you just have to put your head down and grind. There's a lot of uncertainty, you know, but when you're grinding and you just keep pushing, you know, I think good things are going to happen for you. And if you're doing the right things and you're giving back to your community and you're doing, you know, everything you can do to be in tip-top shape and sharpen your mind and sharpen your body, I think everything will fall into place for you. So I think, you know, right now, you know, it's a grind period. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of uncertainty in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's much bigger than just football right now. You know, so I think you know it'll be great once everything has settled. But you know, in times of uncertainty, you just grind.
Right. And I definitely can feel you on that. And like, you know, lately just with the social media and everything going on, I've been seeing Cam Newton, and like, have you been catching Cam Newton's posts?
Cam going crazy.
And he got me feeling like I want to throw the pass back on. I'm ready.
Right.
Like he got me so motivated watching them just those, you know, 30-40 second Instagram clips that he's putting on Instagram. It's like man to man, and I feel like you can add that to your story. It's like, you know, this team passed up on me. I'm gonna make them, you know, I'm gonna make them pay. Like this team passed. Whoever picked you up is gonna be lucky to have you.
Right.
And now seeing Cam, seeing that chip he put back on his shoulder, man, it's just well, did J. Cole say it, man? It's a beauty in the struggle.
Definitely.
It's a beauty, like that's where, I mean, people fail to realize, especially with Warren Central athletes. They see the beauty when we went in and the beauty in this, and they didn't see us at 5 a.m. Right. They didn't see you at 5 a.m. doing wrestling. They didn't see us at 5 a.m. with Coach Clayton running 400. They don't see that type of stuff. So now with social media areas of it, do you feel like it's easier for an athlete to display his emotions, or do you find it's harder for you to display emotions with all the, you know, the traps and different things that can happen from you using social media?
Yeah, man. Honestly, you know, social media is a tough deal, man, because you have to be a certain way on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like they want you to say and do certain things on social media as an athlete, right? So, you know, you looked at it a certain way if you say what you really feel on social media, because that's just how they want things to be. But I think now as far as like what the world's been going through, I think athletes are starting to, you know, express themselves and express their true feelings on social media. But, you know, I think it's something that a lot of athletes were scared to do, just because the backlash and everything of, you know what I'm saying, well, who will I upset if I say this on social media and just express how I really feel? So I think it's approved now. Like you can be yourself and express how you really feel and just be who you are on social media instead of just, you know, conforming to other things. Yeah,
definitely. I agree with you on that one. And then I know a lot, or I mean, maybe not everybody knows. I know you post on your social media, but you about to become a new dad.
Yeah, man.
So it's like the grind. It's right back to the beginning. You talking about running around the tree with dad, like now,
right.
And girl dad, correct?
Girl dad, man. Yeah,
so you stepping into that girl dad role. I mean, I know you nervous. I mean, me and you didn't talk and you know, text, and you picked my brain about, you know, kids and things like that. But how you feeling, man? Now that it's coming time.
It's a crazy feeling, man. Like I think I love football. I love everything I've been doing, like in life. I love everything I ever accomplished, but I think this is like my biggest accomplishment, like this far. Honestly, like it's a crazy feeling to have a daughter on the way, and it gives me an extra push every single day. Like I have a reason to get up every day. I have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody that's gonna be watching me every day and watching how I move. So it's very important for me to be on top of my game at all times. So it's just like I can't let her down. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer about me. It's about her. It's like, let's get it. Let's do it.
And speaking from me being a father, now I just had my second kid as well. I mean, you congratulations first and foremost. But it's not people. You know, some people make it hard, but I mean, you definitely raised the right way and raised around family, raised as a village. I mean, all it's gonna do from my perspective. What I think it'll do for your character is give you an even more push. Like even if you was like I said, we already proud of you. If you never pat it up again, I mean, everybody's proud of you. It wouldn't be like you wouldn't be letting anybody down if you was to never put another pad on again in your life. Like I don't want you to ever feel that way ever wherever you go. Like you've knocked down so many milestones that 97% of the world don't even make it to. So so your daughter, like she's gonna see you grinding, even if you not in the gym. Like I work out every day. My son, he takes to it. I see how he wants. So now she might get gymnastics. She might play. I mean, even if she don't play a sport, she's gonna give you so much to look forward to.
She draw.
Yeah, she's gonna give you so much to look forward to that it's gonna replace anything, any other outside noise, any of the outside people. She'll fill that void. That's how I look at my son. Like you can't. He doesn't judge me. He sees me as I'm a Power Ranger in his eyes, and that's how she'll look at you. That's kind of how I balance. When you going through this process and continue going, look at it like that. That's like my balancing stone, or that's what I like my stress ball. If I need to unwind, I just go play with him. I don't have to. I can put my phone down and do different things like that. So I know you're gonna get a lot of sleepless nights coming up, though. I mean, a lot of sleepless nights, man. And, just take care of mom, make sure you help them with those bottles and stuff like that. Definitely. But it definitely be a great feeling. And I gotta ask you one big question.
What's up?
Who is your top 2 in Warren Central history?
You did not put me on the spot like that. Top 2?
Top 2.
Man, I done seen some killers come through Warren, man. Come on, man. You cannot do that to me. I done seen some killers come through Warren, man. Man. Oh, man, it's so many greats. It's so many greats, man. So many greats, man. That's... Oh, man. Top 2. Man, I honestly don't know, man. I don't know.
You can't put yourself in there if you feel like you in there.
Hey, honestly, man, I don't know, man. It's a lot of great players that's came out of Warren, man. It's cool to even be, mentioned in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? But excluding myself, my top 2 have to be, man. Can I do a top 3?
You can do a top 3.
Give me a top 4. Top 4. Top 4 at least. Top 4.
I'll give you top 4.
All right, top 4, no order. I gotta go with Desmond Tardy, man. Okay. He was cold. I mean, he was a monster. He was nasty.
He definitely
one of the sickest quarterbacks I ever seen in Warren history. I gotta go with Darren Evans, obviously.
68, was it 68, 69 touchdowns?
That's the reason I wore 4 in Little League.
That's the reason a lot of people wore 4.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I wore 4
in Little League. If you was on the east side, you wore 4.
But it's crazy because, it's funny because I went back. I remember I was little and I used to see them at the gas station and they was like celebrities to me. I'm like, man,
superheroes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I want your autograph. Let me get your autograph. And it's cool to just be talking to them now and just having these conversations. It's cool. But so Desmond, Darren, Jay Finch, of course. Jay Finch was so raw. I mean, he was cold. And then that 4th one, man, man, it's so many greats out there, man. But that 4th, ooh, who is the 4th? I don't know, man. That 4th, man, I don't know. I don't know. That came before me. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You don't know. We'll leave it at that. But you mentioning why you wore 4 growing up is crazy because now that I'm grown, I'm 26 and I've moved back to Indianapolis and I'm seeing the culture shift. It was all back then as we grew up, it was all wing T. Either I wanted to be Darren, I wanted to be Dexter Taylor, I wanted to be
that was gonna be my 4th. That was gonna be my 4th. D. Taylor was gonna be my 4th.
That's what you wanted to be. And if you played defense, you either wanted to be Finch, or you wanted to be Brick. And you were a little older. It was that was like the Mount Rushmore. But now, David Bell has literally he shifted the Warren culture so crazy.
So crazy,
that
man.
It's so crazy that everybody wants to be a receiver.
Everybody want to play receiver, and
it's crazy.
It's wild.
It's wild. I never thought
it's him. Is Romir the running back? He's a dog too.
Monster.
I mean, those two guys,
monster,
special player.
Monster.
David Bell, man, he's the next big thing, man. He's gonna be the truth. Yeah. Like he already is the truth, but he's a different breed. He's moving at a different speed.
What I'm saying? And I literally had to go see for myself because I'm coming back from school. They're like, David Bell. I'm like, is he crazy like that?
Yeah, no,
is he crazy like that?
That's how you want to go see it. Like, man,
I had to come see it in person. I wanted to be up close, and just the way he moves, the way he breaks, and then it's like he's like a silent killer. I never seen him. I never seen him talk in person.
And one thing about him is one thing you'll know. He's humble. He's humble. You'll never know like he is who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, like when people say, "Oh, like that's Mykelti," people say the same thing. Like that's David Bell. You know what I'm saying? But you would never know. He's just a cool, calm, collected, humble kid. So
definitely,
great player though.
I can't wait to see the next person to shake that Warren Central culture. But he's definitely set in stone. He's set in stone for right now.
Won basketball state championships, football state championship. I mean, you can't. There's nothing you can't really top that.
Yeah, you can't. And he hit the game with a shot.
Come on, bro. Come on. You can't top that.
He did do some sick, but
yeah.
I appreciate you for stopping through, coming to this interview,
for having me, man.
I ain't seen you do, I haven't seen you do a lot of interviews. I know a lot of people
not at all
want to know what's going on inside. Right. I know a lot of people, like you said, how you wanted to sign people autographs. When you were doing what you were doing, it was a lot of people in those same shoes. Same shoes, like, that's Mykelti Williams. Oh, that's Mykelti Williams.
Right.
So, one last question.
Right.
Why 18?
Man, honestly.
Why 18? But we think he paid Manny because he was playing quarterback then. I'm like, why is he wearing 18?
Look, though, so it wasn't like I asked for 18 though. That's the thing. Like a lot of people don't really know that. I didn't ask for 18. Like I just got handed 18. Like you wearing 18. Like this is what you getting. But I try to put my own spin to it. Like okay, 1 plus 8 is 9. So J Finch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like I don't know. I try to put my own little spin on it, man. But I never really. 18, I was just handed it.
And you just kept it. You was like, forget it.
Just kept it and kept going. So it's just like, let's ride.
Right. I could dig that. When you came out to 18, I'm like, did he pick 18? Like, I never wanted to ask. I'm like, maybe that's his number. I didn't want to make no jokes. Maybe that's his number.
I didn't pick it. I just handed it as my freshman year, and that was it. Like
kept it forward solid.
Kept it going.
That's genuine, because I'd have changed that number immediately.
Definitely should have changed it, but I ain't. I make the number, and the number don't make me.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming out for this interview, man. Talking down, letting people just see a different side of you, man. Definitely. Hopefully, we can do more of these going forward. Whatever you do, even if it's something else, you go into a different venture in life, man. I'd love to sit down with you again. Thank you for sitting down with Home Team TV.
I appreciate you for having me.